Despite being referred to the status of a dwarf planet, but Pluto continues to fascinate scientists and space enthusiasts alike with its unique characteristics, particularly when it comes to sunlight. Pluto, located at the outer edges of our solar system, receives significantly less sunlight than the inner planets like Earth. There are several factors that contribute to the limited sunlight reaching Pluto. 1. Distance from the Sun. Pluto is an average of about 3.67 billion miles, 5.9 billion kilometers, away from the Sun, which places it about 39 times farther away than Earth. Because of its great distance from the Sun, Pluto receives less than 1% of the solar radiation, making it far weaker than planets that are closer to the Sun in terms of intensity. 2. Inverse square law. The intensity of sunlight follows the inverse square law, which states that the intensity of radiation is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the source. This means that as Pluto is much farther from the Sun, the sunlight reaching it is spread out over a much larger area, resulting in a lower intensity.
3. Solar flux. Pluto's solar flux is substantially lower than that of planets closer to the Sun. It represents the amount of solar energy received per unit area, which decreases with increasing distance from the Sun. 4. Seasonal variations. A single day on Pluto lasts about 6.4 Earth days, and it takes approximately 248 Earth years for Pluto to complete one orbit around the Sun. However, the seasons on Pluto are much more pronounced due to its highly elliptical orbit and slow rotation. Pluto's axial slope is significant, similar to Earth's, and it experiences seasons.
5. Sunset and sunrise. During Pluto's long winters, the Sun appears as a faint point of light in the sky. As Pluto orbits the Sun, there are periods when the Sun is below the horizon, and Pluto is in darkness. When it nears perihelion, the Sun would be visible, but its low intensity would still contribute to the cold conditions on the dwarf planet. 6. Eccentric Orbit. Pluto has an eccentric and highly inclined orbit, which means that its distance from the Sun varies during its orbit. At its closest approach, perihelion, Pluto is about 2.66 billion miles, 4.28 billion kilometers, from the Sun, while at its farthest point, aphelion, it is around 4.67 billion miles, 7.5 billion kilometers, away. This orbital eccentricity further contributes to variations in sunlight exposure over the course of its 248-year orbit.
7. Thin atmosphere. Pluto has a thin and tenuous atmosphere composed mainly of nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. This thin atmosphere allows more of the weak sunlight to reach Pluto's surface, but it also contributes to a lack of significant atmospheric pressure and temperature on the dwarf planet. When daylight does eventually reach Pluto, it covers the icy surface with a faint but noticeable glow. The Sun appears to be only 1/39th as large from Pluto as it is from Earth, or roughly 0.026 times as large. This further emphasizes how little the Sun appears from Pluto. The Sun still rules the sky as a ray of light against the blackness of space, although much fainter, due to the peculiar conditions on Pluto. It serves as a reminder of how widely influencing the Sun is, even at its outermost point.